Let's make this drawstring bag. Perfect for the holidays. I recently did a TikTok on the smaller version. Let's bump it up a bit. For the outer fabric, cut 2 rectangles 8 by 10. Do the same thing with your lining fabric. With right sides together, sew 1/4 inch seam allowance on the 3 sides, leaving the top open. Same thing for the lining, except leave an opening 4 inches wide. Press open your seams. Now let's box the corners. For more information on how to do this, be sure to check out our full YouTube tutorial. Our channel is Sewing Parts Online. From the tip, measure 1.5 inches down and draw a line. Bring it to your sewing machine and sew directly on that line. When you reach the end, leave your needle in, lift up your foot, and pivot your fabric all the way around. Then lower your foot and sew back down to the end. Make sure that you backstitch at the end. Trim 1/4 inch seam allowance. Do this for both the outer fabric and the lining fabric. Leave the lining fabric as is. Turn the outer fabric right side out. Insert the outer piece into the lining fabric, making sure that right sides are together. Align the side seams and match up the raw edges. Secure with pins or clips. Sew 1/4 inch seam allowance around the entire top, making sure to backstitch over any seam and at the end. Using your opening, carefully turn your bag right side out. Straighten as best you can, and if needed, go ahead and press. Next, we're going to close the end. Fold in the fabric 1/4 inch on each side, sew very close to the edge. Just like that. Now comes the fun part. Push the lining into the outer fabric. Straighten it out as best you can. Press the top to make it nice and crisp. Next, we need to make marks for the channel. Draw your first line at 1.5 inches and your second line at 2.5 inches. Do this on both sides. Bring it to your sewing machine and sew directly on those lines, making sure to backstitch at any seam and at the end. You just formed a channel for your ribbon. Between those lines, carefully rip open a few stitches, opening the channel. Using 1/2 inch twill tape or ribbon of your choice, cut 2 pieces, each 24 inches long. With a safety pin, feed the tape. Go in one side and go all the way around, back out the same side. Once through, even out your tape. Now do the same thing from the other side. Make it nice and neat and tie knots on each end near the bag. Clean up your ribbon and use fray check if needed. How cute is that? Need sewing supplies? Come visit us at sewingpartsonline.com.